Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you had a fantastic weekend. It is 6 o'clock, and that means it's time for our daily English news edition. And as usual, I'm Daniel Cook, your host, bringing you a translated version of today's news stories. The Albanian president, Nishani, made the statement today that the justice reform can only take place if corrupted judges who are under the protection of the politicians are removed. Now that the majority and a group of experts have prepared a final report on the reform, the head of the High Council of Justice, Nishani, says that the politicians must rid themselves of the corrupt judges. If a corrupt judge is brought before justice and he is protected by a political power, he turns into a liability for the whole society, said Nishani. The president reiterated his call to the politicians not to try to take control of the justice system. Mr. Nishani also commented on the June 21st elections, expressing his concern about the problem of vote buying. He said, "The problem of politicians attempting to purchase votes is very harmful because it brings results that are not authentic to political and administrative life. I have faith in the maturity and responsibility of the Albanian citizens to take their destiny into their own hands on election day." The president also reminded the politicians not to include the public administration in their electoral campaigns and not to try and put fictitious voters on the lists in order to avoid problematic elections. He expressed his confidence that the politicians will cooperate in the decriminalization process. Representatives of the Albanian justice system have evaluated the report of the international experts, which highlighted the shortcomings of the justice system. The head of the Union of Judges, Gerd Hoxha, predicts big legal changes to come, starting with the Constitution. He explained the damages that have been done by the intervention of the politics in the justice system. When asked whether all the problems in the justice system have been identified, Hoxha had this to say: "A great and serious effort has been made. It is a rare case when the judges feel involved in this process. We do not know whether our opinions are being taken into account, but we had the opportunity to report all the problems." The head of the Union of Judges said that there are a great many problems in the structure, the laws, and the different organizations of the justice system. He expressed the opinion that the Constitution needs to be changed, particularly the laws that govern the work of different justice bodies. When asked whether politics have damaged the justice system, Hoxha said, "Politics have played a role in this situation, but the judges and other justice employees are also to be blamed." The summit of the regional foreign ministers is being held in the Macedonian town of Ohrid. The Albanian foreign minister Ditmir Bushati made a pointed statement that the integration of Macedonia is dependent upon their implementation of the Ohrid Agreement. In the context of the summit, Minister Bushati met with the BDI head, Ali Ahmeti, and asked him to keep the Albanian issues in focus. On his part, Ahmeti said that the BDI has played a constructive role and an important role in establishing the political dialogue between the parties. The agreement of June 2nd was good, he said, and not only because it refers to the establishment of stability, to the Ohrid Agreement, and to the neighborly relations. It is also good because it defines important reforms that should be undertaken. The politicians should think of the people and leave their own interests behind. Mr. Ahmeti also asked about intensifying the bilateral cooperation between Albania and Macedonia through meetings and through the realization of the agreements on education, culture, and other areas. The fishermen of Vlora are saying that their industry has recently been facing some pretty significant challenges. They say that the economic crisis has had a serious and negative effect on their business. The fishermen say that they have been traveling to other countries in the region in order to buy their fuel for their ships, as prices are so high in Albania that it makes purchasing fuel elsewhere the better option. They expressed concern that their fishing businesses are headed toward bankruptcy because of high costs and low profits. In the city of Vlora, 1/3 of the families live off the fishing industry, and now they say that people are purchasing sea products less and less because of the economic crisis. Recent data from the Bank of Albania reveals that Albanian businesses are transferring their profits outside of the country rather than reinvesting in their own economy. The BOA data reveals that €66 million have been transferred outside of Albania in the recent 3 months, which is about €24 million more than the same period last year. The experts say that the reasons for this are the economic stalemate in Albania and the insecurity of the Albanian business sector. According to the BOA, the state budget has not been benefiting from the outward transfer of profits, even though the government has increased the tax on dividends from 10 to 15% since January 1st of this year. The experts are saying that the major companies that are paying dividends to shareholders in other countries are operating under double taxation agreements. This means that the taxes on these dividends are not going to the Albanian government, but to the country of destination. The transfer of business profits abroad is bad news for the economy at a time when the country needs liquidity more than ever. That concludes our news for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please join us again tomorrow at the same time for more translated news in English. Thanks, and have a great evening.